fire season, all it takes is one cigarette and can lit the whole thing on fire too. Again, different look. That's what people are experiencing as they walk in front of our police station on the sidewalk. Different look here. This is where we at as far as what we have to deal with. Again, people walking, and that's what they experience as they're walking by. This particular one, kind of very dear to my heart here. This is the Memorial Grove section that we have, and this particular stone here commemorate the officer that downline of duty for in Van Nuys, and this little bench here if someone, you know, from the officers or any of the employees can want to come and just kind of reflect and sit there. This is different look how it is right now. Again, the grass had died, and this is how we remember our fallen officer that died in line of duty. And it's pretty disheartening just to look at it. So we did some measurements, and as far as how many square footage and what we need to do, and this is some of the things that we, we came up with as far as the measurement that we need to cover all these areas. And we came up, as far as the lawn area, with about a 4,250 square foot. That actually increased because now we're going to go to the outside of the station as well. So it's going to be in the neighborhood of about 7,000 square feet. This is some of the area that we, in the green, this is what's going to represent where we're going to be putting the grass. The artificial cost of the estimate here is $9 per square foot. Again, 4,200, that's going to go up to about 7,000. So the price is going to go up probably over 50,000 or so. And I know that the figure is pretty high, but we also have, what we're doing is we actually approaching different council districts, trying to get matching funds here and there. And one other exciting thing that I found out about after hearing your presentation last time, and thank you for that. I did listen, and I did listen tentatively.
We have a lot of resources to be helping
Yes.
you guys. You guys shouldn't have to be doing this yourself.
And what I did is I actually reached out to the Department of Water and Power, and they do have programs for that.
Bureau of Sanitation.
Bureau of Sanitation, yeah, I haven't reached out to them, but we reached out to Department of Water and Power, and what they do, they actually have incentives that they actually do give some incentive, huge discounts or rebates for these kind of things as well, but they don't provide the entire funds. Unfortunately, we have to come up with most of it. So there is.
I'm afraid you're missing a good source, a good resource to be helping you and cutting your workload a lot.
Okay.
The programs for DWP are centered for commercial, for the general public. And as an entity of the city, you have resources that we don't, as residents and business owners and whatnot, have. If you call the bureau, and I'm happy to put you in touch, not right now so we don't take up time. I can put you in touch with an expert source within the city who can tap you into like free plants that we already have, trees we already have, various resources we already have that you have access to being in the city system. And I'm happy to do that.
And I appreciate that, and thank you. I would definitely talk to you afterward. But also something that I did not know about, and I just found out as of May this year, actually, Department of Water and Power actually started a new program for also city buildings. That's something that just started, and for drought-resistant material or drought-tolerant material or plants, and that's something I did not know about. And they do provide funding for that as well. But it's not 100% funding; it's not even close to that. But there are. Yeah.
Our departments are way too siloed,
Yeah.
and I'm sorry that you're going through all
No, that's okay. I mean, we're doing this for the citizens of Van Nuys Division. We want them when they come. We want to, make them feel welcome when they walk into the station or walk around the station. That this is their station. This is for the community, and I emphasize the word community in there. So, the cost of the alternative. We also have other things that we talked about, and this is the second. There's two different projects that we're working on within one, but the first one for the synthetic grass that area had showed you. The other one that we'll get to here in a minute, and this is for the ivy, and this is plastic ivy, and basically it had been used in San Diego, as you can see, in the city of Anaheim, and the cost for that, what we came up with for our station, and this will cover the fences around the station, all around the station, and is graffiti. It's not, and it's a graffiti deterrent. Because it will deter the graffiti artists from doing it when they see this kind of stuff. Sure, absolutely. It actually have a lifetime warranty, my understanding. apologize, 8-year warranty on that. And the cost for that for us to put around the station, this will be roughly about $9,000. As we can see here from what can we say from the city, if we can look at the graffiti abatement cost about $13,000, the creeping ivy cost $1,900, first year savings about $11,100, and 5-year savings $65,000. So again, what it does provide is it does provide protection as far as people cannot see within our fences, because we have incident where people actually had jumped the police fences that were mentally challenged, and they caused some disturbance. And I'll direct your, I don't know if you remember a few years back, we actually had an incident where we had an individual walked in, somehow they got into our parking lot and they lit some cars on fire, and some of our bicycle unit and motorcycles were actually damaged. I think that was over about 12 years ago probably. But we had an incident not too long ago, actually a couple of years back, actually a year ago, where someone had jumped and also did that because they can see there's no one on the other side. So this provided protection for us and also provide a good look for around the station, and it's guaranteed for 8 years. And this one is installed for roughly about $9,000. That's what it looks, another look for it. Give and take $8,000, $9,000, but this is what it would look. Now, again, I'm going to open up the question if there's any questions, but we're doing this, and just to answer your question again, and I'm emphasizing, because the word community is in our station, we want to make sure that the public, general public, when they come in the station, they feel welcome, they feel just good about walking. This is their home also, just like it's ours. So,
Okay.
sir.
Yes,
Let's
sir,
open
I
it.
have full support. Whatever we can do to improve that. My question though is on the artificial turf. That $9 is high. If you were to go to 650, we have a company in North Hollywood that actually they come up with it. So if you guys can work on that number of 6.
Absolutely, this is a high price. With the incentive that we get from DWP and all that, the price will be cut in actually less than half. So I am working on that. This is the
$2 a square foot
Correct.
from DWP.
correct. That's for rebate. They give us rebate for that. So we're somewhere around the middle. So that's what we're working on.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Regarding this.
Yes.
This is what they intend using. But what happens when it's dirty after washing down your hose in?
Correct. That's what well, this will be done. It will not be done. It will not be done on a frequent basis, but it will have to be done to maintain from time to time. But well, that too. We'll just have to wait for rain too sometimes. But yeah, it's something that does not have to be done on a weekly basis.
7, 8, 9.
But, well, what's good about this as far as how we're going to keep this clean, or even with the synthetic grass, because it's very easy actually to keep it maintain it. Our general service department actually made it very clear that they will not, because they never really had to deal with that situation. In fact, there's not a single LAPD station in the city that has it. So we're going to really pioneer this. However, what I was told by the Department of Water and Power, there's about 4 different fire departments that actually had done this, and they got full support from them. So if fire department can do it, I know everybody love firemen, but I'm hoping everybody loves the policemen too. If the fire department can do it, I'm sure we can do it too. So I hope that answers your question. Okay.
This is on a wall.
Okay, this is
isn't
particularly
quite
on the wall.
round.
Yeah. Well, the dogs and the cats for the synthetic grass is a very good question. So what we have, what we have for Van Nuys in order to maintain and keep it clean is we actually have individuals who have to pay, do community service hours to pay off their things, and we have a coordinator. In fact, we have 7 of them today, and they were helping us putting some stuff on the wall and cleaning the station around. We will be using these individuals to go out there and maintaining them. They come about 3 times a week, and that's how we're going to maintain all these items.
Mr. Morris?
Just to offer
Thank
you
you.
another.
I'll yield the floor though. Thank you, Mr. President. I'll yield the floor.
Thank you. Just one more resource that might be able to help you. The city of Santa Monica
Mhm.
did this process. You're saying that you work with the fire department. I would just check in with the city of Santa Monica and get best practices from them, see what tips they use. and
Sure.
Anything to cut your work.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Santa Monica's another resource.
Absolutely. We want to make it, absolutely.
We'll go to Mr. Morris, Mr. Luna, and then Mr. Lynn.
Again, maintenance is so important. We have an island that was done here for 135,000
Mhm.
Van Nuys and Vano, and it's never maintained. Recently it was clean because there was an election. It probably won't be clean for 10 years. You used to have a program at the police station. I worked there for 20 years with you guys, where you had community service people come out of there. You had an officer running it.
Yes.
We used to have 20 to 30 people.
We still have
It's
it.
going to take high maintenance. We
Yes.
have the people
We are. We are.
That's what he said.
Trust me, we
You
are.
got 'em.
And we are putting them to work. No, we are putting them to work. Yes.
Mr. Luna?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry,
my
Mr.
original
Lin.
question, I'm reading off this, item G, is about seeking funding from Councilman Martinez. Why don't you already have funding from Councilman Martinez?
We made the request. All we can do is just make the request, and it's up to them to actually. Yes, and I'm actually making another presentation too, also this coming week.
And they agreed, and it was made to Martinez, and you're still waiting?
Was that the question with regards to the funding?
Yes.
So, Councilmember Krikorian has a beautification fund that's available to each neighborhood council. Last year, you guys didn't use yours.
Right.
It's up to $10,000 for beautification in the community that we will give on a grant basis as a matching grant. So if you guys are willing to spend anything up to $10,000, the office will match it to beautify a project in the community. The rule has always been is that it has to be spent within Council District 2, which is what we've run into because we have such a small portion of Van Nuys neighborhood council. But being that it's LAPD, I figured it's worth a shot.
Yeah.
So we are going to give it a shot. If you guys are agree to do this, we're
I understand that. What I was asking the officer was,
Yes, sir.
you made this request of Councilman Krikorian and Councilman Martinez at the same time, correct? Councilman Krikorian will match us dollar for dollar, and we don't know what Councilman Martinez will do. If
I sent the entire proposal to Council Martinez's office, and I'm still waiting to hear.
That answers more than
Yes.
answers my question.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Mr. Luna?
Anyone else? Sir?
Mr. Luna? Yeah, yeah. Sir, it's not germane to this situation. Well, you can take it up in public comment at a later date. Mr. Luna?
Sir.
So, I'm gonna ask a money question.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
so I ask these just from a money point of view. They're gonna sound critical, so I apologize.
No, it's fine.
Has LAPD decided on a specific course of action
For
for the beautification, to take care of this problem? The reason I ask is because it was brought up a little bit earlier that maybe Bureau of Sanitation, maybe DWP, there's the drought resistant stuff.
Correct.
There's the ivy. It sounds like there's a couple of different options. Is LAPD clear on the course that they want to take?
no, because this is all new territory for us.
It's
So
laboratory.
the buildings are not owned. Just to kind of clarify, the LAPD buildings are not owned by LAPD. We just occupy them. They're actually owned by the city and generally general services. We actually have to get this up. I have to make the same presentation to general services to get their buy-off on it. I'm almost there, about 70%. The work of the done, so I'm getting that done. But as far as this has never been done before, and there's something new that we're trying to do, and hopefully it'll catch fire. I'm hoping, and other divisions will do it because we have 21 divisions. And if we can implement this in every single 21 divisions, just think of the resources or the money and that will be saving. It will be astronomical. So
So I have three more follow-up questions.
sure.
So it's going to be a little bit difficult for me to vote either way because I don't know what I'm voting on.
Okay.
I'm very much in favor of having a community that has police stations that are welcoming and
Yes.
professional.
Correct.
100%. So it's kind of tough to move forward because we don't know what we're voting on. Essentially, we're writing a blank check for 5,000, 10,000, whatever you guys are asking for, but we don't know what that's going to be spent on. So I guess the only other question I have is, do you have a total amount that you're asking for, like the total project cost?
Well, the total project cost right now is interchangeable because that's depending on what materials we'll use, and that depending on what we'll be getting from DWP. But what we know is DWP will not provide 100% of the fund. In fact, they provide the money after the fact, some of the money after the
It's a-
fact, after it's
It's
installed.
reimbursed.
It's reimbursed.
Because we're gonna vote on it tonight.
Right,
I
so,
wanna get
so when we started looking at this project, well, they were looking at the turf and the, and, you know, we had seen this ID stuff, and I wanted to that's how we, mesh the ideas, but the total cost of the project, if they were to do what they are thinking, their idea, is what, 39,000?
Well,
It's more.
that's for the synthetic grasses will be about that much, and then this is will cost about $8,000 to $9,000 install, I believe.
So the total cost, like if they could just magically come up with every kind of money that they want to beautify the entire project, all those areas.
Yes, that would be reasonable.
How much do you have promised to you so far by anybody else?
Well, so far I have matching fund from what I'm getting here.
Okay, so whatever you have,
Correct, times two. And
Up
then I'm
to
also having a
10,000.
yeah, and I'm having a promise, but, you know, I still have to make a presentation this coming week to Council No Holds West. I was on the phone with them today, and I still have to hit Sherman Oaks. I mean, I'm making quite a bit of presentation trying to get this.
your first stop?
You're my first stop, so don't turn me down.
And that makes sense because Ben has neighborhood.
It's our backyard.
It's in our backyard.
Yes.
The other thing is also, because the project is so large and we figured out that the way to break it down would be to do only just the ID, or just the memorial, or just, you can pick portions of it.
Correct.
It's not,
I don't know.
you don't have to write
I don't know
a
that we
blank
want to
check.
tell APD how to best manage their own house.
No, but it's a, no, but it's a.
But it is modular.
It's a
Okay,
very,
got it.
but it's a very fair thing to ask for, to say, you know, we are going to fund this, and we want this fund to go towards, you know, the beautification of the ivy or the memorial. I mean, that's not
Thank you for the option. I don't know that, I don't know that if the situation was reversed, I'd want somebody to dictate to me in my organization how to prioritize that. So just
Well-
my own vote, it's not going to be dependent upon, it needs to go in this. order.
Jeanette, one second.
Start with the memorial.
But just to clarify it, we're happy to get what we can, because we have no fundings. And I would love to get whatever I can. I can start small, and then eventually it will, you know, over time we can start, you know, we can finish everything. We don't have, no, the answer is we don't have to do everything at once. We're trying, you know, we're taking baby steps. We're learning along the way too. But, you know, the most important thing, we can put the IV for now, and then either the area for the memorial, we can start with the area, and then whatever else funding we get, then we can add on to it as we move along.
Okay.
My last thing would be that if I'm happy to move forward with this, I just want to, in the language, to include, I don't know about the word plaque, but something along those lines.
Of course.
You get my,
So people know where that
All right.
I support the demonstration.
and you get my promise that will be done.
That's
in
why
the-
it's under
the
discussion. Okay. Commissioner Grant?
Yes.
Can I actually make my comment afterwards?
Okay,
After you vote?
okay.
Okay, now I have a question.
Ma'am.
We need 11.
Oh, we had 11.
Is there a time limit for the matching funds? Because,
Oh, no, Jerry's here. We have 11.
okay, we only have $9,179.92. And we have several other things that we wanted to fund. I already mentioned to you that we had the torch fund and we had
Correct.
the lockers for you guys also. And then there's some other funding that we got at the end of last year, and December of last year, I was in a very serious accident, nearly died.
Sorry.
Long story short, I was out for a little bit, and so these things drag, and I feel badly. But right now, because we're down to that, and again, this is the end of our 14-15 fiscal year, July, we start fresh. I wanted to know if there was a time limit on the matching funds, because since we have so much to fund and so little with which to do it, I want to know if we fund it later, we only give you like some now, maybe some later, would that be okay or not? Because we don't want to lose the matching fund issue, but at the same time, we only have that 9,000 to fund a number of things, so.
Well, no, the matching fund doesn't have a time limit, because the matching fund belongs to the neighborhood.
Okay,
It
because,
doesn't belong to the
oh,
neighborhood.
good, because our
So
fiscal
you
year
guys
ends
can
for.
choose to use it on this beautiful.
When this came up at the executive board meeting, we said that there was possibility that this would be postponed until the new fiscal year, and that the funds would come out of the new fiscal budget.
That's why I'm asking.
Which will be in July.
July 1.
We were discussing
I mean, we're
because
talking 3 weeks.
We want to short you guys
We love you too.
We want the graffiti busting stuff because that would save in the long run a lot of
Yes.
money because look how much money is always already spent and
Yes.
always being spent. And you showed some beautiful pictures to show how that looks in that area. So we like that,
Yeah.
but being limited in what we've got right now.
Sure.
And the other neighborhood councils, by the way, are all in the same boat. We all have that same deadline. So you hit them up later, you're gonna come into the next fiscal year anyway, unless you hit them all up in the next week or so. So what I wanted to do
He's
is
gonna come back next week.
No, I am happy to get whatever or whenever the time. Again, this is not going to, this is going for the community, this is going for the station, this is for the people that we serve on a daily basis.
with regards to that, our
Thank you.
police department and our fire department, you guys are the best.
I just want to say, I'm not guaranteeing matching. The matching funds are available.
You better. Wait a minute. Oh, come on now.
All right. Mr. Mraz.
Thank you, Mr. President. I thank you for letting us air this out. This is too important. First of all, as our treasurer said, we've given over and over again to the police department. But I have a little issue with that, but I would rather see it go to the police department because we're going to see the improvement. We're going to see the lockers. We're going to see the outside of this building. My concern, Mr. President and board members, here we are once again. Corian's office only has a little bit of this area, and Martinez has this huge area, and yet the commitment from Mr. Kokorian, can I finish, please? Okay, I'm not criticizing, I'm trying to fight for Van Nuys for one time, over and over again, because you know what? This is the problem, because some people always stick up for Martinez, and this is one time she's wrong. She should have been on the leader on this. Mr. Kokorian has to take the leadership on this. We need to give the money for this project, because if you improve that, it could be the center of everything else that goes outward. We can improve the police department, and we can move forward. But every time this happens, we're behind the eight ball because of Martinez's office. I would ask you, please, we'll submit monies, but we will base it on what Ms. Martinez submits. And if we need to go into next year's budget, Mr. President, we'll do it. But we cannot, and thank you, Corin, for doing this, Mr. Corin. It just happens this over and over again, where Martinez is always falling behind. She should have been here, sitting where you are. Her staff should have been sitting right where you are.
But
So
the thing
please,
is,
let's
the way
stipulate
we
that.
see it is the
I know, I know.
services our constituents.
I
and
understand,
that's the
and
only-
thank you there, but the other question, last part, Mr. President, is if we give this money and then this thing falls through, what happens to the money, Mr. President? We need to know what happens to the money. Does it come back to us? Does the police department keep it? What happens?
Once the money is allocated, the money is in the hands of the police
So it'll
department.
go to which
I
money? Which
I
money?
can promise you it will not fall through. We will follow up on this and we'll get it done. We're already having, just on a side note, a few projects that already started that we're not asking funding for, but I'm getting GSD. One of them, for instance, the light poles along the walkway as you walk into the station. I know we're getting that fixed. We're getting more lighting. We're getting police signs. We are moving toward improving the look of the station in general, and this is will get done.
Give it to the Jeopardy program. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Yes.
I have a recommendation, and that is that I think there's agreement that we want to invest in our community here in Van Nuys. I also know that our colleagues have suggested that our budget for next year will be a little bit more robust, and that we're being very diligent about how we're spending our end of the year. It might behoove you to come back to us in July and at the same time seek CD6's support and come back in July and ask for a funding request that would support it. That's my recommendation. Or rather,
You have our support.
yeah.
Okay, yes.
And to piggyback on what my colleague just said, it gives you time to have some other resources and come up, maybe when next time you present, we can have option A, option B, option C, and we can see what the different options are rather than just this one option. I know you put a lot of work in, and I appreciate that.
Thank you.
But part of me just, like, you guys are cops, like, there's just so many people being paid to do the landscaping and other stuff to tap into that. So perhaps in the next round, we can have at least 2 or 3 options, and we can see a differential, and not just look at costs, but look at, overall usage, overall design, overall implement, irrigation, gray water, things like that.
Martinez will commit that.
Mr. Luna.
I hear what you guys are saying. I hear what's being said by the council, and
Well taken.
I'm different. I agree. I concur.
At this,
A small gesture now and another gesture next month.
okay.
I
So
can't
the action
control.
item is to not to exceed $5,000. I'll open the discussion as to what we feel we can allocate at this point in time. If so, a vote should be taken.
Okay, of the 9,000, I was going to take 4,000 for the odds and ends each from last year. So in other words, for the Community Alcohol and Drug Treatment Foundation, the NCAD, general settings.
Mm-hmm.
Van Nuys High School wanted 25, if we give them 2, there's the 4. And then we go to the police department, then we give, for the lockers, we can do, at that 5, say 2. We give, him 15, so that's 35. And then we give the rest to the Olympic, or that's it.
But we still have on the agenda the $2,500 for the microphones.
Oh, I didn't see, oh, we gotta do that.
Absolutely.
Okay, I forgot, I didn't look all the way down, we'll see, so then we have to change that. So it's up to you then, if you wanna only do like, you know, maybe, you're saying a small amount, 500 now to them, and.
Well, 1,000. I mean, we can do 999.
Give now then, okay, and then
I move-
allocate the rest separately like that, rather than the full amounts we wanted to do, and then augment them next year.
Based on the allocations that we're hoping to continue with tonight, I move that we allocate $999 to this project and encourage coming back in July to ask for more.
Give me the 4,000.
We would need an NPG. All right, the motion has been seconded. I'll call for the vote. Okay, let's open it up for debate.
Does he have an exact number on the roster that they need?
Yes, Mr. Morez.
Thank you, Mr. President. You're being too kind. I'm overwhelmed, about ready to hug you. Sir, I would hope, again, just to stipulate that we're willing to give them the balance maybe in July, but Ms. Martinez has to come through. Again, I'm not going after Ms. Martinez. Let her please step up.
Everything is contingent on matching funds. They can't get the project done unless CD6 and CD2, yeah, comes together.
As long as the board says.
And we're looking at a number of neighborhood councils that have to pony up as well. You know,
So there was a second. Discussion?
we're in discussion.
So you call on anybody who'd like to speak.
Anybody who wants to speak, just, oh, yes.
I was just notified that Dunn still doesn't have my ethics certificate. I have it on my laptop. I need a moment to find it and verify with the board in order for me to vote.
Are we 11 or are we?
Would you like to see it?
No, I know it's there.
Benjamin, you were gonna find some mics, too,
I guess
remember?
just for the
Well, I know, we know.
Just for the record, this was produced, the certificate was generated March 16, 2015. I completed 2 hours.
It's okay, Lydia will take a look at it.
And so I've already also told her to please send me the original email she sent to the department and send it again and CC me, and I will make sure it gets up to
Okay,
So we're in compliance for voting.
correct.
Actually, I'd like to.
Glenn, Mr.
Just-
Bailey.
So, according to the Empower LA website, which admittedly may be delinquent in posting items, but that's what funding goes by in whether to allow your expenditures or not. And according to this, there are 3 board members, including Maddie, whose ethics have expired, or they haven't taken it, or they haven't done the funding training. Everyone has done a code of conduct. That's what I've been informed. So, so if any of those 3 can't, other than Maddie, so those other 2 cannot produce evidence, before voting on funding matters only, for tonight, my suggestion is that they count towards the quorum, but they be marked on the board count form as ineligible unless they have evidence of that. Yes, I do.
All right, Glenn, I'm going to need your expertise here. We have a board of 21. We have 11 board members eligible, or we have 11 seated board members at this point in time.
That's your quorum. Yep.
Our quorum is now 11. So it would take 6 to pass a resolution.
Correct.
Who are the 3 members that are ineligible according to the board, to the Dunn website, ineligible to vote? Quiet.
According to the Empower LA website, at this moment, Jeanette's is showing as having expired in February, and they haven't posted anything. Okay, if you have proof of that, then you could vote tonight. If you have proof that you, if you have proof with you, then you could show that to the presiding officer.
I have it, I did it. I
Okay.
printed it out.
Okay, so that would be up to the board. If there's something in writing showing that it's current.
It's current. I went home and did it that night.
Okay, I'm just saying it's not self-affirmation. This is
I
something.
understand.
It's the responsibility of the board members to follow up, make sure it got posted in a timely manner.
understand.
Before the meeting, unless there's someone else whose responsibility. John Camera is, I was told you just took your code of conduct tonight.
He did.
So you're showing no ethics and no funding. Okay, so again, if the presiding officer has proof of that, otherwise you're jeopardizing any funding vote.
Exactly.
You're jeopardizing it. You can get around that by just being marked you're here for quorum,
That's
but you're being
exactly-
marked as ineligible. And if you actually have the document that can be provided after tonight, then you could do that.
Provided after
So we get the vote before the officer.
Maddie was the other one. You've already discussed that.
Okay.
And there.
I did do it, and I did it that.
Okay.
All right, so at this point in time, we've had discussion. We know who's eligible, and call for the question.
You only need 6, right, President?
We need 6 yes.
You have to state it's a substitute for the original.
All right, so the 8G, the VNNC to consider funding request to beautify the Van Nuys Police Station. The VNNC will be voting for funding that will be matched dollar for dollar from City of Los Angeles Councilman Paul Krikorian's office, with additional participation sought from Los Angeles City Councilman Nuri Martinez, including ways to save money and use drought-resistant materials, action items not to exceed $999. That's the question. Also to include a plaque stating that the Van Nuys Neighborhood Council contributed to the restoration of the building. Yes. Oh, we called for the question.
Yeah, it would have been great about 30 seconds prior.
Yeah.
Now, I was under the impression that this substitutes for the first one, and we take.
Correct.
As we did.
Yes.
A week or 2 ago. I thought one of the last meetings.
Yes.
So we will take 2 votes on this.
What are we taking to vote on?
I don't know.
A vote on the substitute, and then the final process.
Well, here's the funny thing. So this isn't a motion. I know you read it as a motion, but this isn't a motion.
It's an action item.
It's an action item. So from this action item, you create a motion.
Correct.
I move that the VNNC donates $5,000 to the LAPD for fill in the blank, not to exceed $999, contingent upon a 1 square foot plaque being displayed prominently. And then you get a second, then you debate, and then it either passes or doesn't. Because there's no motion currently active, there's no amendment to the motion.
I second that emotion.
So yeah, just make the motion, and because this isn't a motion, this is just where you get the idea from. Make the motion and then follow the normal procedure.
Okay.
Debate, and then call the question.
Okay, so since the motion hasn't been called, can I just add a quick?
Yeah, we don't actually have a motion on the floor.
Okay, so we talked about saying a plaque signs on the wall, that the plaque is in position. so that
Predominantly
it's-
displayed.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, yeah. That's it.
I move that we, with the language adopted,
No, I have,
the whole thing.
no.
So
We-
can I give it a shot?
Yeah,
Sure, go
please
ahead.
do.
I move that the VNNC gives the Los Angeles Police Department $999 towards beautification of the Van Nuys Police Station, contingent upon a prominently displayed plaque.
And equal participation by other, some
So
participation.
period, John, get that one, so end that sentence. Because you have to
It's
get,
being
it has to be
recorded.
verbatim,
Right.
because when you call it, it has to be verbatim. Tell me what you got so far.
Did you write it down?
Well, you want to repeat it one more time?
Yeah, so I move that the Van Nuys Neighborhood Council,
What's it?
what's the word, what are we getting, gives?
No. Allocate funds.
Yeah, I move that the VNNC allocates $999 towards beautification of the Van Nuys LAPD police station, contingent upon a prominently displayed plaque.
Yes.
Also contingent upon matching funds from
CD2, CD4. CD2, CD6.
CD2, CD6, full stop.
Yes.
Do I have a second?
Second. All right, now I call for the vote.
If you got a couple of things.
Oh,
Call
I'm
this
sorry.
a motion of Luna Robbins' motion instead of the other way? I'll
Sure,
make a
sure,
motion.
sure.
Luna call.
All right, so debate.
It's up to you to close it.
Debate's closed. Call for the question.
Okay, we ready?
Hey, sorry, I missed one. Just sorry. According to this, again, same comments, showing Kathleen hasn't taken the funding. So I'm just
Yeah.
letting you know what it says here. So
Yeah, no,
if
we
that
we
if it-
witnessed it
right. So if you
taking
have
place here.
and if you have that dated today or before, then you'll be good as long as that gets in
It
to
was-
the department right away. Gets
It was
updated.
taken on April the 29th
Okay.
in the presence of
Okay.
the entire
so somebody
board.
just make sure you appoint you or somebody to follow up to the department and get this posted before this transaction goes in. Okay. For anybody.
Are you ready for the call?
Call for the vote.
Okay.
Send it to me and I will follow up on it. Okay, I didn't, but as soon as I heard that mine had expired, I went home that night and it took me 8 hours to make sure I did it correctly because I wanted to
Okay.
make sure I didn't miss anything.
All right, we understand. We've got a motion on the floor. We're called for the vote. Secretary Henry?
Yes, okay. President Thomas recused, Vice President Benjamin?
Yes.
Secretary Hendry, aye. Treasurer Hop?
Okay, pending my approval, it's I.
Okay. Ms. Meyer
I
recused. Ms.
I thought you were going to
Gordon?
hold off.
Yes.
I thought you were going to hold off. Wait 1 second. I thought you were going to hold off on your vote so as to not possibly jeopardize the vote. All right.
Okay, because these I have to.
So Mr. Camara and Ms. Hop,
Just hold on, you said yes,
yes.
and I am supposed to be technically eligible, which is a joke. Okay, next would be whoever.
All
John?
right. John Henry said yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you?
She said yes, but she wants to say yes.
No, she,
No, I'm asking about you, John.
No, I said yes.
John said yes.
All right, now go from there.
Okay, Treasurer Hop?
She can't vote.
Okay. Ms. Meyer
Does it count as a no vote or a recuse, or what is it?
It's ineligible
Ineligible.
unless you want to accept her documentation.
I don't have the documentation to accept.
Well, my word, but I did it. correctly.
Believe me, I believe you.
I know. All right, so now, hold on.
I-
Penny has to be recused.
Yes.
Mr. Lazarevich recused. Mr. Martin did vote yes. He agrees again, okay, I guess.
Yes.
Ms. Skelton is
Not here.
not here. Mr. Camara is
Ineligible.
eligible. Okay. Have to help me with the score. Mr. Walecko?
Oh, wait. Oh, no, we're talking about funding. You can't. You can't. We just don't want to jeopardize the vote. I know, John, and I apologize. I honestly, I understand, John. I don't want to jeopardize the vote.
Yeah, I had to do it. I'm the blah, blah, blah treasurer. Okay, well,
Where are we at?
Ready? Mr. Camara was ineligible.
yeah,
Okay, Mr.
Leco next, I believe, on your list.
Mr. Walecko's gone.
Walecko is gone.
Okay, Q,
Wait, Mr. Anand is
Gone. He's calling the vote. Corino?
Thank you. Ms. Patton is? Yes. Yes. Mr. Lynn?
Yes.
Mr. Luna?
Yes.
Ms. Raines?
He's gone.
Gone. Mr. Robbins?
Yes.
Thank you for being here. Yes. Ms. Asgherian? Abstain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, count 8.
8. Motion passes.
we needed 6.
Okay, can I say a couple things?
Yes.
Thank you. So,
I try not to change your vote or taint your vote or make you think differently. So I try to wait till afterwards before I would make a comment. First thing I wanted to do is, first of all, apologize to John and Maddie and Jeanette and everybody that's having issues with Dunn. We do have problems with staffing issues right now. But I want all of you to know, all you have to do is go to the empowerla.org website and look at your neighborhood council roster. If it shows you're missing something, you're going to have this situation. So it's up to you after you do your funding test or whatever it is you do to follow up and make sure it's there. If you do not get it on the roster right away, then email it to the commissioner also so that we can follow up. Because I don't have a problem going and saying, hey, it's been 4 months, what the heck happened to our paperwork? But I can't do it if I don't know. It should actually go to Lenny, your commissioner,
Yes.
but I'm always happy to step up and help when I can. So one thing I want you to think about, and you know, I understand you guys wanting to beautify, and beautification projects are really important to neighborhood councils. So I'm not criticizing your vote tonight. What I want you to think about, though, is as we move further into this drought situation, and as we move further into these situations where a lot of the city buildings are going to want, it's the library, it's the fire department, it's the community center, it's the women's club, you could set yourselves up for having all of your money going to this type of project. So I just want you to think about that, and you guys having this tonight, and you guys are great leaders, and you guys step up. One of the things you guys might want to think about is putting a motion forward to like Lank, asking them to put on their agenda to talk about something such as a motion to ask General Services to create a contract with companies that provide artificial turf at a much lower rate, so that if the neighborhood councils are going to pitch in, there's a cost drop. I mean, this ivy matting, these are things that if we're going to start using them, and they're already starting in, like you said, fire departments, the city should be stepping up to create these contracts to make it less expensive for you guys to help to continue to move beautification projects forward. Just wanted to suggest that.
Fair enough.
Thank you, Lydia.
Thank you, Lydia. All right, so we,
Oh, I have relinquished the chair back to the president.
Okay.
I can't help but make an observation that it seems to me, and even in the last meeting and the one before, someone was making a big fuss about sanctions, but people who were here arrived at the meeting late. How many people weren't here just now when we were trying to vote on that?
Well, that would be 10.
Yeah. I rest my case.
well, let's see if we can motor through the rest of this, and
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
thank you, sir. All right, let's just go down the list, guys. 8B, the VNNC to address committee assignments and possibly setting up a committee chairperson training so the VNNC committees can run smoothly and in accordance with the Ralph M. Brown Act. The VNNC to reach out to Commission President Jay Handel to run the special training session. They,
Dunn informed us
yes.
tonight that Jay Handel would not be able to train us, and that it would be under the auspices of Dunn, and that we would have to send in a formal request on a specific form to ask Dunn to bring in a training officer, if not an actual Dunn employee, then it would be a volunteer that would be sanctioned by Dunn to do that training, but that Jay Handel would not be able to do it with their approval.
So if that's the case, then I still want to move forward with training the committee chairs. If it pleases the council, I would like the training to be before our general meeting in either July or August. That way we can give enough time to Dunn to find someone to train the chairs. So if there's no objection, I make a motion that we adopt the language in 8B as is, with the caveat that it would be before the general meeting in either July or August.
But you're going to have to remove Jay Handel.
Okay, so then the language would be just the first sentence, the VNNC to address committee assignments and possibly setting up committee chairperson training so we can run in accordance with the Ralph M. Brown Act, and then strike the second sentence from the language. I make a motion we adopt 8B, the first sentence in 8B, and move forward in training the committee chairs. Do I have a second? With that, I call for the vote, Mr. Secretary. Yes.
Yes.
Aye.
Be 14. Very good. Motion passes. I or Howard will reach out to Dunn and try to schedule somebody to come and train all the chairs of our committees. Moving on, 8C, Guillermo addressed this, and so we're not taking any action on this. Any reports back from him, I'll loop everyone in. 8D, the VNNC to discuss and take possible action on renaming the Irwin Street Mall after former County Supervisor Zev Yaroslavsky. The mall is the center of the government for the Van Nuys in the Valley area, and former Supervisor Yaroslavsky represented the area for over a decade. I have been in contact with Benita, who worked for Zev and now works for Sheila. She has direct contact with Zev, so when and if the motion passes tonight, I will inform her of this, and we can see when what the paperwork is that we need to do and when we can schedule Zev. Any discussion and debate on D, 8D? With that, I make a motion we adopt the language in 8D and move forward on renaming the Irwin Street Mall after Mr. Yaroslavsky.
Seconded.
With that, I call for the vote, Mr. Secretary. Yes.
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 Aye.
So.
Yes.
Mr. Roberts.
Yes.
Very good. 8E, the VNNC to possibly host Councilmember-elect David Rue. His office did not get back in contact with me, but we will leave the invitation open for him to come and speak as part of our